And you are doing some, research. You have a funded chair now at Bloor Review. What's the job?
Well, essentially, it's to find technology-based solutions for kids with disabilities so that they can do activities that their able-bodied counterparts would be able to do.
Now, RAMI is looking for stuff that's, I guess, off the shelf that a big bank can use. You're more on the development end of this.
That's right. Most of our work is research and development at this point in time, but eventually we're hoping that some of this stuff would be able to be commercially available.
And what's the focus of your research?
Well, I guess the focus is what we call smart devices, or devices that are able to learn about the environment, learn about the child.
What's the little girl working on? Can you tell from the screen?
Oh, she's playing our virtual music instrument. So this is an instrument we designed for kids with gross motor difficulties or fine motor difficulties that allows them to play music, essentially, just by waving their limbs through space.
In order to earn and retain the trust and respect of each other. Oh, we've got something, Rami's machine going. Okay, well, tell me how that one works, the music.
We attach a small camera to a computer, and the camera captures the child's movements, and in turn interprets the movements and translates that into music.
And does the child remember where the different notes are? Is that
yes,
how it works?
Exactly. We put color circles on the screen that overlay the child's image, so the child can very easily be cued as to where to reach.
And that, you see that works on their fine motor skills. I guess it's also good for...
Well, it's for kids that don't necessarily have fine motor skills.
Yeah. Now, what's the other stuff? Now, I was reading briefly that you're doing some work on the sounds that muscles make, and I didn't realize that muscles made sounds.
Yes. It's a phenomenon we've known for about 300 years, but we've never been able to... we've never been able to use it practically.
Okay.
And that's mainly the challenge that's been around. Partly because these sounds are very faint, and they're very easily contaminated with other sounds from the environment, even from your own body. So we've designed a sensor that can pick up these sounds and allow us to very precisely distinguish what muscle activity the individual is creating. So this allows us to use this sound to control prostheses, upper extremity prostheses.
Okay, back up on that one. If I'm flexing my elbow,
yes,
then you can identify that it's the elbow and not the knee.
Well,
that's moving, and
let's say that a person has a below elbow amputation, so they're missing, like, say, their hand, and they have a bit of a forearm, so they can use the muscles in their forearm to control a prosthetic hand, like the one I have here.
Okay, how?
Well, we have a number of sensors that are placed in the soft socket, and they pick up the muscle activity. So the sound that you create from your muscles travels through your limb.
Yeah.
And we can pick them up from these sensors, just like microphones, just like picking up people talking.
Okay, and if you have picked up the sound, then what do you do with it?
Then we analyze it. We analyze the sound, and we're able to find patterns. So certain patterns means, for example, your flexors are being activated. Other patterns mean your extensor muscles are being activated. So we can map those activations to different functions for the prosthesis.
Meaning you
opening and closing, as an example. So this hand's not parred right now, but it will open and close just based on different muscle activity different muscle sounds that you make.
It is sensing then that I'm reaching for something. Is that it, or
we pick up that information as well, but we're not using that right now in the technology at the moment. But we're picking that information up as well.
Okay, so now you can identify the sounds, where they're being made.
That's right.
And then you try to figure out why.
Well,
and then
I guess that's the end.
Work that to a motor.
Find out what the intention of the user is, what the user is trying to do.
Yeah. Tom, I know this is, and you've got a staff there and some funding on this thing. What's the research horizon? You're working now for developments that you are 5 years away, 10 years away, is it?
Well, we're hoping sooner. I mean, the focus of our work is immediate impact. So a lot of the stuff we're hoping to turn around in a very short time frame. 2 years, 3 years. The virtual music instrument now is being offered as an outpatient service. So that's like something that's turned around very quickly. Another device that we're working on is for detecting swallowing safety, and that's something that we just patented. So we're hopefully bringing that to market within the next year or two.
The swallowing safety,
yes.
Tell me what this is about.
Children with cerebral palsy or other neurological impairments, they have difficulty swallowing. Mm-hmm. and they're also lacking some of the protective mechanisms. So if you and I, if something goes down the wrong way, down our windpipe, we would choke or gag and it would come back up.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids are missing those protective reflexes, and as a result, they're in danger of having food going into their lungs or liquid going into their lungs. So there's no way for parents or caregivers to tell objectively whether the food's going the right way.
Right.
So we've designed a device that can monitor the activity at the throat.
Using sound again, or is it
yes,
something?
well, vibration, so it's very similar to sound.
Yeah.
We're looking at the vibration signatures that are associated with swallowing.
And the benefit of that would be that if this person weren't supervised at the time, or didn't have it'd be an alarm?
That's right, exactly. We would sound an alarm so we would know you stop feeding this individual, or change the speed at which we're feeding, change the consistency of the food.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, we have some more technology and some more devices to show you after this break.